I discovered Dragon Ball, by accident again, because I came home one day, I think I was in like the 4th grade or some shit, and I turned on Cartoon Network, and I was waiting for Ed, Edd and Eddy, and instead I got this gold motherfucker Goku fighting Frieza, and I was like, what the hell is this? But I was about to turn it off until I saw like them just beating the shit out of each other, and I was like, oh, okay. All right.
We soaked this in.
Yeah, I soaked it in.
Ed and Eddy can wait.
I caught it. I caught it towards the end, and I was like, "What the fuck was that?" And I remember the Toonami narrator was like, "Next time on Dragon Ball Z," and I was like, "Okay, yeah, that."
Don't worry, I got the intro. We're starting an hour late because I had nothing prepared, nothing charged. But you know what? Sometimes you got to start a show an hour late.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Sunday Sauce, your grandmother's favorite podcast. And today we are joined by a good friend of mine, Alex, a.k.a. UnrealEntGaming. My boy, how you doing today?
Yo, thank you for having me.
Dude, thank you for coming. I've been waiting for this moment for a very long time. We've been friends for a long time. For actually a while.
Wow.
And I'm just going to start by saying this because I've been waiting to tell you this all day, but I wanted to wait till we got on the show. I actually started off as a viewer of this man. It was right before Dragon Ball Super came back. And I remember it was 2015.
Yeah.
It might have been even a little bit before that because it was right in talks of the movie coming
Battle of
back.
Gods and stuff like that, yeah.
And I remember watching his video. You were flying around, I think, in like Xenoverse. It was the gameplay.
Yes.
And you were saying something along the lines of like, yo, we all have to like band together and show Toei that we want to see this.
I remember.
Bro, and I'm watching, I'm like, I fucking love this guy's awesome, and now he's in my basement and we're filming a show.
Let's go.
I have no idea anything about Dragon Ball. So when you say like he was flying around the Xenoverse, I'm just like,
he's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Xenoverse, a video game. You probably actually really like it.
Wow, that's 2014.
That's a long time ago. That's 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've known of you for like 6+ years, and then we became friends probably... When did we become friends, actually?
2016, 17, around there.
We got to go to an early screening of... what was the movie that
Dragon Ball
the Broly
Super
movie.
Broly, yeah.
Went to the city, had some popcorn.
You guys went together to that?
Yeah.
We did.
A year and a half ago.
Yeah, that was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, you met my brother Joey.
Yeah.
We got some popcorn. It was a good
This was
fucking
before
time.
the apocalypse.
Yeah, this was before the Earth shut down, which apparently we were just talking about it. We're apparently we're open back up, and now we might be shutting back down again. I can't fucking take this shit anymore.
It's a fucking roller coaster.
It's crazy. It really is. But yeah, so for those of the people that are watching this right now that don't know who you are, give us a little bit of a taste. What's a little preview for the UnrealEntGaming channel?
Well, you guys can follow me on my OnlyFans. That's definitely
lucrative business opportunities.
OnlyFans, no, it's just I cover I think a wide spectrum of Dragon Ball. It's just something that I have grown so much towards when I was a kid. I'm a fan of many things, but if it were up to me and we went back to the older style of YouTube, like back 2016, 2015, I would upload a whole lot of hoopla on my channel just because I'm a fan of like zombies, Resident Evil, Yu-Gi-Oh, all types of stuff, vlogging, whatever. But given the current situation and the way the algorithm is set up, I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna stick with Dragon Ball because that's what works for me best. But what's interesting about Dragon Ball is there's so much you can cover, and there's so many different spectrums you can go into, like the gaming sector. You have the fan mangas, you have the actual manga that's ongoing right now. And for my channel, like as of right now, I'm sticking to that because not only do I love it, but it's what works.
Yeah.
I can't just do Dragon Ball and then cover makeup like later on, it's not gonna work. So I basically that's just the premise of what's going on now. But prior, years ago, man, I was doing everything. I was doing gameplays and walkthroughs, let's plays, vlogs.
Well, hence the name UnrealEntGaming, right? Because now it's mostly Dragon Ball discussion topics and theories and stuff like that, but the gaming was in there.
So Ent is entertainment?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I actually started doing parodies and all types of stuff, like just IRL stuff, and after the algorithm kind of changed and I kind of saw what people wanted, I was like, all right, let me just remove this and take that away and just put this in here. So
doesn't that fucking suck too? For those of you guys that don't know maybe what he's talking about, basically the algorithm shifted along the lines of a couple years ago where essentially right now niche channels grow the best. You do one thing every time your followers or subscribers rather get a notification, they click on it, YouTube says, okay, they're liking this, let's feed it out. Where back in the day, all channels, not all channels, but a lot of channels just used to be like a melting pot of whatever the fuck you want to upload. If it gets views, views, watch time, they'll push it out.
But a lot of people are taking advantage of that. I can give several examples. I don't know if you remember this kid named
Exility, no.
He was doing a whole lot of hoopla. He was making content such as like, my mom caught me jerking off in the shower. It's super sensational stuff, along with like Leafy.
3 million subs.
Yeah, along with Leafy and all these people at the time. But he deleted a lot of his videos because he kept getting called out by everybody. I mean, he was racking in the views. And, at the time, I think he was like 16, 17, 18 years old, getting as much as he can out of it. And then once the algorithm shifted around November of 2016, mainly, Leafy's channel was the first one to get hit, and then followed up by everybody else. So once that systematic thing came into play where people like Matthew Santoro and a lot of people couldn't really abuse the system or just leeway their way in.
Who's Matthew Santoro?
That guy commented on one of my viral TikToks. I shaved my beard. He was like, "What have you done?" Or something.
He was always on the
lines.
trending page, but not anymore. So the algorithm shifted in a sense to where nobody has the advantage because you really don't know what works. If it's view based, like based, so they kind of want to keep it.
Who the fuck? I've never heard of these people. This guy's got 6.4 million subs.
That's Matthew, right? The bald guy. Yeah. It makes sense though when you think about it from like the algorithm perspective of like, if I'm uploading 5 videos a week, 4 of those videos are Pokemon based and all of my viewers are watching them, YouTube knows, okay, they're watching them, they enjoy them. If I upload a vlog on Friday, the 5th day, and no one's watching it, YouTube's like, why would we share this to other people?
Because you have to also look at it like this. Like PewDiePie has 105 million subscribers.
That is
he only gets about
crazy.
Like 6 to 10 million views per video. So what happened to the other 90 million subscribers?
I know.
I wonder that all the time. That is such a weird thing where like you have these giant 20 million plus channels, but yet the vlogs on there get like 5 or 6 million, which is still ridiculous.
Where are those people?
Where are the other 15 million people? Are they just dead subs? Are they just not clicking on what you're putting out now?
People come to you for different reasons. They come to you because they're a fan of like something specific. So if you're not giving them what they came there for, they're gonna go to somebody else, or they're just gonna they're gonna wait and they're gonna go I'm gonna sit back and really not watch this because it's not really my forte.
I think every YouTuber at some point in their career, especially the people that do it full time and take it very seriously, have gotten those comments. What the fuck is this? I subscribe for blank. You know, especially you. Your fans were ruthless about the fitness content. I know, man.
But I gave them a little bit of it, and now they're like back. They're like, fuck yeah, let's
give
go.
Us more. Give
Sunday
us more.
sauce all the way,
dude. We talked about this off camera. I don't think we ever brought up on the show yet, but we would do community posts on both of our channels. We still do this every time we post a new podcast episode, just to get more eyeballs over here. And every week, his community tab was the most like toxic, barren wasteland of just shit comments. Like, what the fuck is this? This is shit. Where's the fitness? This guy posts.
No, they get like that.
He posts fitness videos for like 2 weeks. Everyone's like, Sunday sauce
is the best.
Yeah.
Can't wait for next week's episode.
Yeah. It's like, did you guys even watch the show, or were you just feeding for some Philion fitness content?
That's how they are. I mean, people. Like you go to a certain channel to watch certain things. You don't go to a movie review channel to watch like makeup tutorials. So
it's fucked though, because when I like a YouTuber and their personality, I'll watch anything unless it's something I'm really not interested in. But I was subscribed to your vlog channel, still am.
Yeah, thank you.
That channel, I was like, oh my god, like he has hundreds of thousands of people that like to listen to him talk about Dragon Ball. Like, why the fuck don't people just automatically jump over? Because it's like those vlogs were great.
It's structural based. I feel like with my vlogs, I'm a very harsh person when it comes to like self-judging, because like I don't live a fucking extravagant life. I don't drive in Lambos, and I'm not going out to like these crazy places. So my routine mainly when I would do vlogs was I would go to the gym. I would either vlog like a wrestling event. Just keep it based like that. So I said to myself a few times, I was like, if I was on the outside looking in and I saw my own vlogs, I'd be like, oh, it's the guy's interesting, but like what he's doing isn't really anything different than what I'm doing. So when I would watch vlogs, like for example, I'm a huge fan of Logan Paul, and I feel like I wasn't at a point, because what he was doing at the time is what his brother's doing now. It's very sensational and very egregious kind of things that really don't make any sense. Whereas
gotta
now,
top the last moment for like shock factor.
Now he's very grounded, and the stuff that he does, I think, makes a lot of sense. So I enjoy that because it's not something that you see every day. Well, considering the quarantine, but prior it was like, and even now he's doing things that are a little different, and you kind of want to watch that for entertainment value and just have a good time watching it,
Well, we've talked about that a bunch of times. It's like, I actually am a fan of the vlogs where, like, I relate. Like, people just walking around their house, petting their dog, going to the gym, getting a sandwich. Not like, today we're going to jump in a fucking volcano and see if we don't burn. It's like, what the fuck is this?
Those vlogs just don't perform, though.
Yeah,
In the grand scheme of things, you're right. But I think if you build a community through, I just feel like community building is so important.
It's
like
they relate to you.
Yeah. If you can get subscribers that click your channel and subscribe for Phil as opposed to like Phil talking about fitness, then you're winning, man. Because but then again, I mean,
it depends what your goal is.
Exactly. If you just want sheer views and numbers and fucking.
But if you want money and community and like, well, I guess you could get money both ways. But like, if you want like that core that like rocks with whatever you do, it's all about the community building and like that relatability. But if you want like viral or like explosive content, you have to have like broader strokes with what you're talking about, or like,
of course,
you can't be like, hey guys, now I got salami and cheese at the deli. Now I'm gonna go deadlift.
Well, think about it. Who are like top tier, over 10 million vloggers that have that very chill, like, yo, good morning, guys. We're gonna go on a run right now, and then we're gonna go to the fucking zoo. Like, I can't think of any.
Yeah, no.
I can think of a bunch that are just super sensational, like Mo Vlogs. You have the Ace Family. People do different things, and in their vlogs, they incorporate different factors that people are just like, oh, I've never seen that before. That's pretty cool. So with me and my vlogs, I was like, I'm just going to the fucking gym, dude. Like, you know, like what?
Those slaps, dude. It was cool too, seeing like the wrestling side.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of your Dragon Ball fans might not even know that you got really serious with the wrestling. You want to talk about that for a little?
Before this whole like Corona thing, I was and before I had shoulder surgery, because I had a bone spur that was tearing into my rotator cuff. And I didn't even know. So I was working out while I had this. So I remember, and I showed you a picture. There was a time in my life where I was at my prime. I had abs. I was huge. And I tried to get like that again. So I cut my diet. I was really trying to focus more on, you know, my intake. And I was going to the gym and I was working out. I remember I was benching. And I used to bench 260 like it was nothing. But then I felt like I was getting stabbed. And I was like, why am I getting stabbed? So I'd be at wrestling practice. And wrestling is grueling. It's all cardio. So it was nothing but squatting with people, rolls, forward rolls, back rolls, just constant cardio for hours. And I remember I was like, why am I in such pain? So I went to see a doctor, and he didn't even know. He was like, oh, you could have arthritis. And I was like, bro, I'm like 26. How the fuck? What the fuck are you talking about? So I had to go see a specialist, and when they checked me out, they were like, oh, you have a torn rotator cuff, and you have a bone spur tearing into it. So I was like, fuck.
Yeah, that's brutal.
So last year, I went to KamehamehaCon, which is a Dragon Ball convention, hung out with fans, hung out with creators. It was amazing, great time. The next day, when I got back, I went to have shoulder surgery.
Oof. Now, when you say wrestling, do you mean like versing other people, or is it like WWE, like SmackDown shit?
WWE, yeah.
Oh, man.
Prior to that,
epic shit.
Prior to that, when I was younger, I did a little bit of boxing. I got into judo before I found out that at the time it was illegal to fight in New York without a license. Really? So I was like, why the hell am I training for judo? And I've always wanted to do pro wrestling. I watched it when I was a kid. Like when I was a kid, I got into Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Dragon Ball, and when I saw Kane and The Undertaker for the first time, I was like, what the fuck is going on? I don't even know what's going on, but I fucking love it. I was doing swantons off my closet and shit, so I didn't know where to find, you know, a proper place to go train. I just thought, like, I can just go to WWE and just see what happens. And I came across a wrestling school called House of Glory, and it was mentored by a guy named Brian XL and Amazing Red. And Amazing Red had been everywhere, New Japan, TNA, WWE. He's done things for a lot of people, so I've learned a lot from that. But I've also learned that the wrestling business is so grounded, and it's so, you have to be in or out. You can't just be half-assed. So there was a point in my life where I was super in, and I've had opportunities to perform in front of thousands of people. There were times where me and the homies used to drive from here to Maine, from here to Canada and back, made no money, just on a handshake hello, and that was it, in front of like 5 fans.
Just passion, man.
But it was the experience.
Yeah.
So it was great. And a lot of my friends now, Mark Quinn, Isaiah Cassidy, they're on TV now. They're on AEW. I have friends going here and there. So after I recovered, I was gonna go back to training. And that was around the time of like January, February of this year. And I was like, all right, I'm going to get myself back into the build. And then next thing you know, it's like, nope, everything's got shut down. Everything's done. And I was like, well, there goes that. So, and now with business wise, I'm not sure how the business itself is performing because of the loss and the effect that Corona had. Not just that, but like Modell's closed down for good. You had other places that are just closing down for good. So I don't know what's going to happen with wrestling. And I had a friend of mine tell me, like, you have to really weigh in your options here, like going forward in the future, because things like this weren't really expected. I mean, as a YouTuber, it's fine because you're home, you're grounded. But I'm a person that can relate to so much to people like The Rock. Like, I love The Rock because it's not just, you don't just ground yourself on one thing. You have the potential to do so many things. You can do X, Y, and Z, but you can also find avenues to go into A, B, and C. So, you know, he was a wrestler, now actor. You have other people that are also YouTubers that transcended from being YouTubers into something more. I always told myself, because I had people ask me, what would you do if you got signed to WWE? And I was like, well, I have a hotel room, I have a laptop, I'll just go back to my hotel room while everyone else is doing whatever, click on my laptop and just, what's going on, guys? Talk about Dragon Ball, play some games.
If you had to pick one? You couldn't do the other.
Man, that's hard.
Where's the real fucking burning passion?
See, I love YouTube because I've been doing it since 2005. There are still videos.
Whoa.
At first I thought he said 2015, and I was like, wait.
No. I have a very old channel. It's called, I think it's Putnam Fam. Putnam.
Jamie, pull that shit up.
And
Putnam Fam?
Yeah, I think it is. Because we did I started recording on a pocket camera. It was so shitty. The quality was such ass. And I remember I was editing my stuff through a
holy shit.
Yeah, these videos are like 15 years old. So I remember I started off recording me and my friends, and it was just, we used to do a lot. We used to play Manhunt Tag. We used to duel on the street. We used to play Skelly. If anybody knows what Skelly is, we used to play football on the street, everything. So I remember I was like, let me just record these moments so I can look back when I'm older and just to see how
capsule.
Yeah. So, and a lot of our group, because we used to be grounded on like 10, 15, 20 people at a time. A lot of people moved away. A lot of people got married, whatever. So I started then, and I really got serious with YouTube in 2012. Once I found out like what you can do with the platform, and I was working so many fucking jobs, but I always knew I had this passion to make content. Even at the time when I was doing fucking shitty ass videos with like horrible software, there was a need. So I remember I had another channel that I started back in like 2006. It was called Alex Animal 7, and me and my friends on Xbox, we used to make machinimas, like Halo machinimas and like little parodies and stuff. That was when I got into recording games. And my first ever capture card was something called the Adaptability game bridge, and that was horrible because I used to like link that to my computer, link that to the Xbox.
Cables everywhere.
Yeah, cable galore. And slowly but surely, like I started learning the process of like getting better as a creator. So from then till now, I'm proud to say that I've learned so much, and I grounded myself on just being not sort of like a perfectionist, but looking back on my mistakes and making sure not to make them again. But wrestling is also very intense because there's a cap. You can't be 50, 60 years old. If you want to, you can. But there's a cap. Whereas a YouTuber, you can do YouTube until the day you die. But then again, the platform itself is not promised. Like, none of this is grounded permanently. Like, for example, Mixer. Look what happened with Mixer, right? Everyone thought, Mixer's
very quick death.
Mixer's going to be the shit. And then Mixer just collapsed. So it's like nothing's really promised forever other than establishing a community, like you said, and being able to ground yourself as a personality to where people can relate to you versus like just the things you talk about. And I've seen a lot of channels where people talk about like movies or like whatever, and there's only so much you can do before like said topic is just dead. And then
fitness.
People
are Philion.
Yeah. No, I know. But that was one of your big worries for a long time.
But people relate to you, I would say, because they care about you and what you're doing versus
the charisma.
Yeah, versus like you can bench all you want, but if you're like Brad Castleberry and you're benching fake weights and you have no personality, then I mean
that's a fact. That's a fair point.
Versus when you're doing something and you're showing charisma and energy, I feel like people would be like, you know what, I like this guy. So if I had to pick one or the other, I would really say both. But if at this current point in my life, if I had to choose one or the other, I'm slightly leaning more towards YouTube, just because there's so much that I want to do and so much that you can do that I feel like the sky is the limit with that. Whereas in wrestling, you never really know, and there's a cap sometimes. So it's like, especially in this current climate, I don't know what's going to happen going forward a year from now. So I don't know if things are going to, be different in terms of mandating, or I don't know. So right now I'm just like, all right, well, YouTube is for me. And until I think everything goes back to normal, then I can kind of like weigh in my options as to like if I should go back to strictly training and just having this like military mindset, or doing something else.
Sorry, go ahead.
How bad does wrestling hurt?
Oh no, the trick is the trick is, right?
Jesus.
So with wrestling, everything is it's light contact, unless you're in there with someone that's called a shooter. If you're in there with someone that's a shooter, for example, like Brock Lesnar, he'll beat the shit out of you straight the fuck up. He'll beat the shit out of you in front of a live audience, but you have to learn as a professional how to respond after getting your shit kicked in. So you can get in there with people that will work you, like it's athletic based. It's you time things, you have to quickly be alert with certain things, and the key with wrestling is you learn how to take falls, you learn how to take bumps. So if I legitimately pick you up and I slam you, you have to know how to break your fall.
Brace
Otherwise,
yourself,
otherwise I'm gonna slam you
to limit the fall damage.
I'd be on the canvas for 20 minutes, fucking
you're
moaning.
gonna break your back. So
fuck.
you know, if I kick you, you're gonna have to know how to respond in a certain way. So wrestling has a lot of contact. I mean, the only thing that I think a lot of people give it like disdain for is like the predetermined outcome. But then again, it's a business. That's the way they run it. That's the way it is.
Well, people don't understand that you have to really be a fucking athlete to do what you guys are doing. You know what I'm saying? People just think it's like a show, quote unquote.
Right.
You have to be able to fucking take the punishment, give the punishment, be strong enough to lift these dudes.
It's not easy for someone to do like a backflip moonsault for you to catch them. You know, there's nothing fake about me catching a grown 200-pound man and throwing
like this is happening right now.
Yeah. So it's a lot of practice and a lot of dedication.
So when there's like a match, right? And I know like the winner's predetermined, whatever. Is that 100% of the time, or is it like you guys? Yeah. Okay, so 100% of the time the winner's determined. But is there like a script where it's like, okay, you're gonna fucking RKO me into like a sidekick into, or is it?
That all depends. That all depends on the individual. It's not really script based. It's more like some people would go in there and go, hey, what do you want to do? Or it's like some people won't even talk to you. They'll just be like, all right, I'll see you out there. We'll call it out there. And that's hard. That's hard. So it's like the minute we go out there, it's like, oh shit, we're doing this on the fly, like right here, right now.
I know you guys are professionals, but like, we're all human.
Yeah.
Is there ever a moment though where like, you know, someone's about to flip you and maybe they flip you a little bit too hard and you get fucking pissed. You're when I flip you on this next fucking round right here, you're fucked.
Yeah, I think it's all about being professional.
Yeah.
Because you're in front of a live audience. And it's crazy because I remember I performed in front of, I think it was 2,000-3,000 people.
That's fucking
and
hype.
Right before the curtain, I had anxiety. I was like, why am I so nervous? Like, but the second you go out there and the music hits or whatever, it's like nothing. And I remember I did something with AEW where I was a part of something called a dark match where I was used as an extra, but I stepped out front in front of like, 26,000 people. And just to see that atmosphere and to feel that energy, it was surreal. And it happened so quick because you don't really know that you're out there doing this until it's over. And when you come back, it was like, holy crap. So, but that's just me. Like I personally, as an individual, I feel as if there is no ceiling. There's no cap. There shouldn't be a cap. For a creator or for a person, you can sit here and go, well, I don't want to do this because, I'm afraid of failure. But I feel like you'll never really know unless you try. Like you actually grow through what you go through.
Oh yeah.
So I feel
I love that quote.
With that, like
I like that.
With that, like I remember when I wanted to get into wrestling, everybody doubted me. Everyone's like, "Oh, you're stupid. It's just you're not gonna do it." And when I started doing it, they were like, "Hey, yo, you doing it?"
Yep.
I saw a lot of my friends in the crowd that always like were just like shitting on me, and I was like, "Oh, but look where you guys are at now, right?" So, there's no cap. I feel like, but that's just me as a person. I feel like there's so much that I want to do and accomplish, and just. There's a thriving world out there, and I feel like just limiting yourself to like one specific thing, it's like, oh, that's cool, but you can also do like 50 other things, as well as doing what you love to do.
And that's the thing too, like so many people are afraid of failure, but ultimately it's a cliche, but we literally learn so much more from a failure than a success.
How many times I fucking failed?
Yeah.
How many times did you get slammed on the mat?
Bad. No, I got the shit beat out of me several. Oh my god, like to the point.
You're a big fucking dude too. I can only imagine how big these motherfuckers are. Man.
I got the shit beat out of me.
What's your wrestling name?
Alex Mason.
Alex Mason.
Yeah.
Clean.
Yeah. So
Let's go.
There were several times where I got the shit beat out of me, but it was all as a means of a response. It was like, how are you gonna respond? They would elbow me in the face. They would kick me, slam me. And there were times where I would do the same, because you have to be prepared in a situation to where when you're training and you get the fuck beat out of you, it prepares you to where you could be going into one of two outcomes if you're going to perform with someone. There's scenario A where things are going to go smooth. We're going to put on a great show. I'll do each other or whatever the case may be and go home. Then there's a circumstance to where I don't know you, you don't know me. So we get into the ring and you find out that I'm one of these guys that's very stiff, and I'm one of those, I'll beat the shit out of you. So if you're not accustomed to like having someone beat the shit out of you, if you're going out there and performing for the first time and something like that happens, you won't even know how to respond. You're just gonna be like, oh shit, this guy really fucking nailed me. Like, what do I do? So that's why you're trained for it. So there were several times where I got rocked in the face, kicked, and I'm like, oh shit, okay, so I'm here, I'm conscious, all right, so I know what to do. And as a means in wrestling, we would respond sometimes by snugging you back just to know, because you can't be a pussy. You can't just let someone kick you in the face and you're like, oh, good stuff. Bro.
I'm not gonna be the punching bag for the next fucking 40 minutes.
But at some point during the match, I'm gonna rock you, just so you know, like, all right.
Wait, so a shooter is like Brock Lesnar, right?
Yeah, like one
of
these motherfucking unrestrained motherfucker.
So nobody dictates like what he can do.
Yeah, I mean, someone like him, he has a lot of creative control and a lot of pull as to what he wants to do, where he wants to do it, because he's a self-established name. He was doing wrestling prior to everything else.
Yep.
Went to UFC, fucking became champion, came back. It's like, who's gonna tell him you gotta do this? It's like, no.
So I'm
like,
Brock Lesnar, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Who would you say was the biggest at their prime just in wrestling? Is it The Rock, John Cena? Who would it be?
That's hard because you're talking about like Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair.
Oh fuck yeah, that's
Randy
true.
Savage.
Yeah, fucking
Who was the
Randy
guy with
Savage.
the snake that used to bring a snake out?
Jake the Snake Roberts. Yeah,
Jake the Snake.
Bro, he used to bring snakes out and have the snake bite people.
Yeah. Fucking
Who's the cannibal guy?
The cannibal.
I don't know if he's cannibal. He just looks like crazy.
Oh man, there were a lot of crazy.
Yeah, a lot of them definitely.
That's
crazy,
really narrowed
for
down.
But I remember when I first like laid eyes. I got into wrestling as a mistake. I went to go purchase at the VHS store. I tried to get a tape of South Park. So I think it was Asses of Fire, whatever the hell it was. It was the movie. I popped the tape in. South Park is playing. Out of nowhere, it cut. Someone pre-taped an episode of Raw.
Really?
So I'm like, what the fuck is
That's
this?
destiny right there.
And I remember, there was this pyro that went off, whatever, and I see this big motherfucker Kane with this mask, and I was like, what the hell? He grabs this dude, X-Pac, choke slams him. I was like, what in the fuck was that? Then his brother comes out, Undertaker, big dude. They're all doing this crazy shit. Then later on in the night, I saw the Hardy Boys for the first time, jumping all over the place, swantons, and I got the idea. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah. So I tried doing it, I almost fucking killed myself. But you know what? From there, I was like, what is this?
You had
This
a
is
love
fire.
for it, yeah.
So, I gravitated towards that, and the rest is history.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see too where just live entertainment goes in general with the whole COVID thing and just the world in general being so much more weary now.
It's interesting because UFC is still doing their thing.
With like little to no audience.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine a wrestling match with no crowd?
But then again, no, and they're
Golf
doing it.
claps.
No, they're doing it, and
weird.
it's like wrestling, basketball, baseball, football. Everything is based on audience adrenaline, right? Like when you come out there, it's not the same. You stepping out and performing versus you stepping out and performing and hearing 90,000 people just
It would feel like a scrimmage.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like practice in a way. So I haven't seen boxing do anything yet. I've seen UFC fights, and UFC fights are a little bit more entertaining now, I think, because you can actually hear
the snaps
and the shots. But it's still not. The performers even said it's just not the same. Yeah. So with wrestling, when I watch wrestling now, I'm like, oh man, it just doesn't feel the same. So this whole thing rocked the world in such a way to where it just spiraled down such a weird hole that we don't really know where we're going to be a year from now,
Yeah, the uncertainty is driving me crazy. But we were talking about it a little bit off camera during the pre-show. It's like, I don't know. I feel like there's going to be a lot of people that just always wear masks moving forward forever. Even when there is a vaccine, even when hopefully COVID won't even be a thing anymore. It's like people are just so panicked right now to even just hug people.
Psychologically, it messes you up. I feel like it's going to take a long time for us to recover psychologically. I think if they were to tell us tomorrow, like, hey, it's over, a lot of people will be out and about, but there's still going to be like that fear of like, oh, I got to back away from you a little bit.
That's going to be me, dude. I can't picture myself being
dude,
like,
I'm a hugger. I'm a lover. When I see my friends, dude, I saw you today. I didn't know if it was cool to like give you a hug yet, so I'm going for it. But like, right? I love like showing love like in that way to friends and family and shit. This is completely separate from the wrestling topic, but I was so curious to ask you this. How does it work for you as far as being a predominantly Dragon Ball YouTuber when the show has been off air for close to almost 3 years now?
2.5 years.
Yeah.
The weird thing is I've been covering Dragon Ball before Dragon Ball was like even on air with Super or whatever. I was doing and again, it's cringe content looking back on it now. But prior to the actual show stepping in or the movie stepping in around like 2013, 2014, and 15, I was doing like what ifs and I was doing gameplays and stuff like that. So at the time too, I was covering like fan mangas, and it's interesting because Dragon Ball AF was created years ago, like 2 decades ago, 3, whatever, by a guy named Toible. And Toible now is actually the guy that's, Toyotaro working on the Dragon Ball Super manga.
Crazy
as, imagine a fan, just doing something just for the love of what he's doing to be picked up by Toriyama or just a company or a brand that, you're inspiring to do work for. So prior to that, I was doing Dragon Ball videos until I saw like news and updates on like Battle of Gods. I was like, what? There's another Dragon Ball movie. It's been years. So that was when Resurrection F kicked in, and then they announced Super in July of 2015. And then since then, right around that time of 2015 and 16, I was still doing Dragon Ball content, but at the same time throwing in gameplay videos. I was doing GTA, I was doing vlogs, beach vlogs, whatever. And then I realized that sometime around the course of like 2016, I saw fans were like, oh, they were mainly interacting in my regular videos and just asking me about like, what are your thoughts on Goku with this and what? So I'm like, oh shit. So I noticed that some videos, like I was playing Outlast and The Forest and Resident Evil and whatever, and I was doing Pokemon emulators. I stopped doing that after like 2 episodes.
So what do you think of Frieza and Vegeta?
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on Goku and fighting? And I'm like, this is a Resident Evil video. Like, what are you talking about? Yep. So at that point, I was like, you know what? Let me shift my content. Let me focus more on what people care about. Let me focus more on like what I enjoy. So once Super ended, again, I'm a huge fan of like the what if concept, because I feel like what ifs translate to many movies and TV shows that you probably watch. Like for example, with the Avengers, right? What if Thanos really killed everyone by snapping his finger? What if, like in Resident Evil, Nemesis had survived? Stuff like that. Like a lot of what if factors. I love
that shit, man.
A lot of what if factors. Like when I watched The Walking Dead, I'm like, well, what if this happened? What if Herschel didn't die? Stuff like that. So when I got into the what if concept of like Dragon Ball, I started seeing fan mangas and stories be told by the community of like, what if this, certain circumstance or set of events happen? So I started to grow on that, and I started to showcase more of that. And I actually started commissioning artists to write my own stories. So I would write stories and a narrative, and I would have these really talented guys work on, drawing. I can't fucking draw. So, I would commission them, I'll pay them, and, they would give me the project back, and I would edit it, all these things. Cool. And I would put out this story as a storyteller, as someone that likes these what if concepts. So I did that. And once the algorithm kind of shifted, I was forced to make other channels. And with these other channels, I'm like, all right, I have a vlogging channel, gaming channel, and a movie discussion channel. And like realistically, I don't want to have like 4 channels. Right. I want to have everything be grounded.
Shit, I forgot my password.
Yeah. I want to have everything be grounded, into one video, into one channel. Yep. But unfortunately now it's like, it is what it is until maybe something changes. But even now, I would say that the scene is changing, because with Mixer gone and with, Twitch experiencing lots of difficulties, and with YouTube kind of having its highs and lows, I feel like the platform's only going to change. But if you don't, change and adapt as a creator, you're just going to fall behind with the times.
Yeah, you got to constantly innovate and make sure you're, giving the people what they want, that they'll go wherever you go.
And be a legit creator. Don't be a lie-baiting, clickbaiting channel. See, clickbaiting is something that is very sensationalized, so as long as what you're putting out there matches with the content. But what I can't stand is like the lie baiting and the people that lie and they put something out so sensational that when you click on the video, it's like you get rickrolled.
Mr. Beast, what?
We've talked about this recently with the titles of our podcast, because what we're trying to do right now is like, the titles are in a sense like clickbaity, but everything in our title is at some point
it
addressed
matches the content.
In the content, even if it's like in the last episode in our title we put Phil denies Barstool.
Yeah.
So in our episode we talked about a hypothetical situation. If Barstool did ask us to sign, would we do it? Phil said no. Phil denied Barstool.
That's not clickbaiting.
It's not clickbaiting
because it matches with the content.
Exactly. Yeah. But like when people are like fucking new Super Saiyan 5 transformation confirmed.
And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And then they put a picture from like when we were in 8th grade going on like fucking the websites to find this super long-haired Goku. It's like, this is not real. This is not confirmed at all. That shit is completely different, There's a fine line you have to walk.
I guess people just get caught up with like views and money, but even then it kind of ruins your credibility as a creator, because
it destroys you.
You don't want to put things out to people that are going to make you look like a piece of shit. That doesn't just apply for Dragon Ball, that applies for like anything that you're doing.
That's life, really.
So I just feel like there's a lot of great creators that like match up what they're saying and what they're exposing in the title, but then you have a lot of people that are saying like, oh my god, like this and that, and there's nothing related to the video. It's like, what are you doing?
Do you know Penguins or Critical?
Sounds familiar.
Charlie?
Yes.
He's got like 5 million subs, commentary, does anything.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous of his format, because his titles are literally just like 3 to 5 words of exactly what he's doing, and he doesn't have any thumbnails whatsoever. It's just like, but it's just like hundreds of thousands of views. Just
certain things just click, man. Certain people, certain audience.
Grade A Under A does his stuff on Paint.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
he provides great commentary because it's hilarious, but it's Paint. He goes on Paint and just draws a bunch of shit, and that's it.
Yeah, it's so crazy how you have people that like go the extra mile to have like perfect title, perfect thumbnail, perfect edits, perfect everything, and then you'll have a creator that literally just turns on their webcam and starts talking, and both exist in the space cohesively.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild. So who is your favorite DBZ character?
Oh man, that's
or
hard.
any Dragon Ball character in general.
That's hard. I like a lot of them, to be honest. Like I like a lot of them for like a lot of different reasons. I remember when I was doing wrestling, I had one of The artist's name is the Enigma TNG. I came out to a Super Saiyan God Vegeta theme song to perform in front of wrestling.
Fucking
it was in Maine, and people were going crazy. So I remember I did that, but I don't know. I have Goku's my favorite, Vegeta. Everyone's for a different reason because you can gravitate to specific characters for specific reasons or whatever. But what I like about, or what I care most about Dragon Ball, in my opinion, is I like a good narrative. I like shit to make sense. Sometimes it doesn't make any sense. Japan's view, outlook, or just viewer base, it's very different than the Western culture.
Yeah.
Because they see things different. They see adaptability different. They see narratives different. So it's like what makes sense to them, the West would be like, what the fuck, that was garbage.
Yeah.
And vice versa. So
I just always loved how I could see myself in so many of the Dragon Ball characters, and just the scenarios of so Phil, there's literally the Saiyans' DNA. When they get their ass kicked, they get knocked down, close to death, they come back stronger. That just right there is a life metaphor for any fucking human. It's like what doesn't kill you makes you stronger type of thing.
Well, what doesn't kill you ultimately comes back to try again later.
Ooh.
My favorite character.
That's a good fucking quote too.
It's true.
That's
what doesn't kill you now is gonna come back to try again later.
Yeah, Boo's great.
Which Buu?
Kid Buu.
Oh, the crazy.
He's ruthless. He blew up the earth in 5 fucking minutes.
That man is dope.
Yeah, he's awesome. That's the one thing too. It's like you need to have a narrative, but what I loved about the Kid Buu moment was that he didn't fuck around.
Yeah.
It wasn't, let me tell you my evil plan. He was just like, yo, fuck you, I'm about to blow up this whole planet.
Exactly.
And he just killed.
Yeah.
He just blew up the entire planet.
Everybody.
He was a fucking savage. But he's like, fight us first, you coward. He's like,
but it blew everything up. And then he was blowing shit up in the cosmos until they got his attention. They were like, yo.
I love the fucking Buu Saga.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that you don't know anything we're talking about right now, but literally, I have to just say, people shit on the Buu Saga so much, but without it, we wouldn't have gotten Fusion, which, well, I mean, we had minor Fusion before that with, the Namekians and stuff that, but to me, Gotenks, Vegito, all of that is just
you have to think,
I love it.
They threw everything at Buu, and nothing worked. They threw 2 fusions, multiple forms, multiple tactics. They jumped him, nothing. So it's like... it was a roller coaster, and you have to think that ended, 90, 96?
Isn't that fucking nuts? And people still talk about those characters today.
Well, because I remember when I was a kid, and a lot of people may not know this, so I wish I had pictures, hopefully I have maybe one on my phone. When I was in middle school and coming up, thankfully Dragon Ball pulled me away from the streets, because I was in gangs, I was in street gangs, I was doing a lot of stupid things, but being surrounded by all the wrong people, I would always be a fucking nerd in the back of my head, like, oh, I love this and that, and a lot of other people as well. So Dragon Ball, I discovered Dragon Ball, by accident again, because I came home one day, I think I was in the 4th grade or some shit, and I turned on Cartoon Network, and I was waiting for Ed, Edd, and Eddy, and instead, I got this gold motherfucker Goku fighting Frieza, and I was like, what the hell is this? But I was about to turn it off until I saw them just beating the shit out of each other, and I was like, oh, okay. All right.
We soak this in.
Yeah, I soaked
fucking
it in.
Ed and Eddie can wait.
I caught it. I caught it towards the end, and I was like, "What the fuck was that?" And I remember the Toonami narrator was like, "Next time on Dragon Ball Z," and I was like, "Okay, yeah, that."
Now, you've never watched it ever?
No, I have.
Oh, you have? Okay. Yeah, you got it. I actually think you would love it.
Never cohesively through.
Yeah. So you've seen segments and bits and pieces.
Yeah. I was really fucking big into Pokemon, the anime series, and the movies.
Oh, so good.
I remember, till this day, 1997, I was online for the movie theater for Pokemon, the first movie, when they were giving out cards. I remember I used to beg my mom to go back on the line to get more cards, because I remember they were giving out multiple cards. And that goes for, I think, Pokemon 2000, the Celebi movie. So I was there for that. And also for Yu-Gi-Oh! Too. I remember, imagine a whole bunch of street dudes and whatever, all tough. Yo, what's good? Yo, you want to duel? All right, so we used to fucking duel on the street.
Bro.
Yeah, we used to do
what
that
about
shit.
your duel disc?
I used to go to duel tournaments.
Yo, we used to do that, and people used to steal cards. I remember one kid had his Jinzo stolen, and the kid that took it played it off very well, because he was shuffling through his cards, and he went, oh, and he had the card here, and he slipped it under his armpit. And we saw him,
motherfucker,
and he was like, oh,
you about to get the smackdown, dog.
Something's wrong with my chest.
Should have RKO'd.
He gave his cards back to the kid, and he was looking through. He was like, "Where's my Jinzo?" And the kid just bounced. So there were times where it was like that. But that's why, to me, I'm always gonna be a fan of the anime and the nostalgia from back in the day, because it's a little more different than what it is now. Back in the day, I feel like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Dragon Ball, Yu Yu Hakusho, you had a lot of things that thrived and that was really dope. It's cool now too, but there's something about it when you're younger that just kind of resonates a bit more.
Yu-Gi-Oh lost me at Yu-Gi-Oh GT.
Oh yeah.
Was that the name of it?
GX
it
there
was.
was?
Yeah.
Was there
GX?
GT as well? I know GX for a fact because I literally run to the theme song all the time. Game on, get your game on.
Right when that stopped, when that started, I was like, no.
Well, the final episode of that series is Yugi versus Jaden. And I'm pretty sure Jaden wins. I could be wrong. Maybe they don't even tell you who wins.
I was not into that at all.
Same, dude.
Yeah.
They lost me when they started dueling on motorcycles. It was like that was the series after GX.
Yeah.
They would literally duel
hell?
on bikes.
Yeah, there was like riding and dueling at the same time. Like, nah.
You know how cool it was when you were a kid and you could just think that in this little artifact it could just turn you into a grown man with a deep voice that was a pharaoh?
Yeah.
I used to pretend all the time, like I would close my eyes and go, woo!
I remember
it's time to duel!
People
Like,
used to
let's go.
fight. People used to fight over fucking Exodia cards. They were like, yo, I got 4 pieces. I got the last one. Yeah.
It's like, you got it?
They'll rob you for it. It was such a crazy time.
One of our fans, Hindrance Gaming, I went to a convention in Boston for PAX. He got us the set for Exodia. The real cards are over there in the
that's fire.
on the armor.
Keep that because they're gonna be worth a lot of money. Pokemon cards now worth so much fucking money, tens of thousands.
Don't understand.
Yo,
dude.
what?
Literally,
Keep those cards.
I've been looking into it because I'm going to start doing pack openings on my channel because I just want to switch it up, do some gaming.
That is a
and
money-making machine,
dude.
if you do it right.
I'm so excited to do it. The craziest fucking thing, a fucking first edition booster box, like when you would walk into a deli and they would have all the cards in those boxes.
Yep.
If you buy a sealed one right now, first edition, I'm pretty sure they're upwards of like $50,000 to $100,000.
And I remember they were $1.99 a piece. They were $1.99 a piece.
Hell?
Fucked.
$2. You know, just to open up a booster pack. Now I think I saw a Charizard for like $150,000. What?
Who are the biggest like pack opening channels?
Oh, that's a good one.
Unlisted Leaf, Leonhardt are the two that I mainly watch, and both of them. Well, Leonhardt's close to $1 million. Unlisted Leaf, I think, is at like 1.3 million.
And then there's Max Mofo, right?
Does he open cards?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And amiibos and like
didn't
all
know
the
that.
different.
Yeah, the card opening game is really cool. I'm excited to like try something new because, dude, I've been doing pretty much since 2014 like the same, gaming. And then once I got into live stream, that was a completely different world. But that's still, gaming or a podcast stream, whatever. But it's gonna be exciting to do like something completely out of the ordinary and just see how the audience responds to it.
I think it's all about like how they resonate, and I think for you to do that, they would resonate heavy because it follows the formula of what you've been doing with the sleep blocks and all the other games. So it's like now I'm doing Pokemon cards. So it's like, why not?
And it's arguable that maybe it's not even arguable. The cards I think are bigger than the games as far as online far as online content.
Really?
Most of the big pack opening gaming Pokemon channels, like the Pokemon card channels, are bigger than the top Pokemon video game creators.
Who is the biggest Pokemon creator?
Yeah.
I should know this.
That's a good question.
I know Munching Orange from a gaming perspective has over 1 million. Let me see how many he has exactly. I definitely should have these facts. Munching Orange has 1.24 million. Unlisted Leaf was the pack opening guy I told you about. He has 1.93 million. I don't think anyone's bigger than that.
It's I can name one. Original 151 is gonna be at 2.
Hey,
Yeah,
yo,
original 151 is gonna be
let's
at 2 million.
It's crazy. We're almost at 200K, which is blowing my fucking
That's good
mind.
because you just broke 100K not too long ago, right?
Yeah, we did 100K.
2 years ago.
I think it was 2 years
Was it
ago.
2
yeah,
years ago?
right at the end of my college. We went to the same college where me and him met each other in a drone photography class. I love throwing out that fact. By the way, if I'm forgetting the top Pokemon creator, I'm so sorry. I'm just kind of drawing a blank. But yeah, let me know in the comments who has the most amount of subs. I'm pretty sure it's one of those two guys. But yeah, it's
Do it. I think it would resonate, especially with what you're doing.
for sure. We're almost at that milli mark. We were talking about that earlier.
Almost, man.
Any big
never-
million subscriber celebrations planned?
I guess taking a COVID test will be.
I'm throwing a fucking.
Making sure I'm clean.
I'm throwing a rager
Oh fuck yeah!
when I hit 1 million.
Oh, I'm glad you bring this up because I was telling you guys before the show. I am probably listen. I can't say I'm never gonna drink again because just getting drunk's in my DNA and I love it. But I got so fucked up on Tuesday night, and the next day, bro, I have not been this sick post going out literally in
a while,
in a
right?
very long time.
What'd you do?
Well, okay, so I went to the Nest with my friend Amanda, and I've been calorie counting. So I was like, all right, I have 900 calories left. I had a Subway sandwich ready. I'm going to have 2 White Claws, come home, eat my sandwich, no problem. Chill, right? We get there, we're like, oh, let's call up our buddy Joey D, a.k.a. the Tripod. Joey D comes through, he goes, what the fuck are we doing? I'm taking shots, and I had a choice right there. Say, no, Joe, I'm having my 2 White Claws, and
That
that's
was it. Nope.
He was like, we're taking fucking shots. We just shot after shot after shot. We were having screwballs. You ever have a screwball shot? It's like
never.
peanut butter.
Oh shit.
And then some tequila. The next day, bro, it was like a 3-hour period of me just throwing up every 20 minutes. Couldn't keep anything down. It got to the point, not to be gross, but fuck it, I'm gonna say anyway. You know when you throw up so much that there's no food, no liquid, you're just throwing up like acid and bile?
Yeah.
It was one of those.
Your body's shutting down.
My body was shutting down.
I remember I went to Mastar Media's house, and he's another Dragon Ball creator.
I was watching that fucking stream. I know you're gonna say you were shit-faced.
We were shit-faced during, and we were super shit-faced.
And it started stream.
And it started because we were just chilling at his house with his wife, and we're just drinking, not knowing that we drank a whole bottle of Russian vodka. Then we had beer. Then we had more Russian vodka. Then we had some wine, and then more beer. And then we hopped on stream, got super shit-faced, got off stream, drank some more. And the last thing I remember was I was downstairs in his basement, and I just fucking puked all over. Sorry, Master. I'm sorry. I destroyed his sink, bro. It was like it was the red wine, and then on top of that we had like pasta or whatever it was before. So that's coming out, and I'm like
concoction in your
I'm
stomach,
like, what
bro.
the fuck? He was shit faced, so I was like, gee. But for me, I don't really drink as much anymore. I feel like I drink a lot on New Year's because it's the celebration of all the accomplishments that you've achieved and everything you've been throughout the year, and the beginning of something new later on. So prior, I was like, when I was like fucking 18, 19, I was just fucking I was mixing Henny and Grey Goose. I didn't give a fuck. There were times where I blacked. I didn't even know how I made it home. I blacked the fuck out. And then after a while, when I got into wrestling and fitness, the first time I ever got into the gym was post me. I used to smoke a lot of weed. So I used to smoke a lot, and then I remember I was drinking. So the first time I ever went to the gym, I was a bone-thin fucking scrub, and I got on this treadmill. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to run. I couldn't even last 60 seconds without me just dying. And I was like, what is going on?
Why am I dying right now?
I want to be an athlete, but I can't even hang for like 60 seconds. So that was it for me. So I made this conscious decision to always just get hammered on New Year's, just because of all the success and failures throughout the year. You're starting something new. You look back, you have a great time, you celebrate, you just open up a brand new year with something different, and you just carry on.
One door closes, another door opens.
Exactly. That's it.
Let's go.
That's it.
So you get like all your demons out on New Year's?
Oh yeah, dude. No, I drink to the point where I don't even want to like know what my name is.
The quarantine, believe it or not, helped me a lot, just like calming down.
Yeah.
Because we weren't going out at all. Yeah. So like I was like, yo, I'm fucking chilling sober. Like I like the social aspect of drinking. My favorite thing in the world, I probably will always be like this, but I love when everybody's out and we all get in a fucking circle and I bring around the shots and we all take a shot. That, in my opinion, like there's no better camaraderie amongst friends.
Especially with like your closest friends, because you guys can bond in
taking
such a way.
Shot, a toast. Yo, fucking love you guys. Friends forever. Fucking shot, whatever. But like
or the emotional talks afterwards. Oh, fucking love you, man.
The hanging friend that's always fucking hanging on you. I love you, bro. That's pretty much me with you. I fucking love you, bro. I love you, cuz.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been taking it easy, and this was like the first time that I really like drank in a while, and oh my god, my body was like, yo, I can't fucking do this anymore.
Ever since the first night at the Nest, yeah, drinking is just not it for me. Like, I limit myself.
Well, I'm realizing when I was, again, during the COVID quarantine and counting calories, it's like, yo, I can go out and have fucking 4 White Claws, get a nice buzz going, and be like on top of my fucking game. Funny as fuck.
Yeah.
Able to articulate myself. I take fucking 5 shots. I'm fucking like,
You
guys want another fucking shot? Like, what the fuck is that? No one wants to hang out with that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But listen, you go out, you have a good time, you stay safe, you fucking hang out with your friends, and we have to go out. Well, when all this shit ends, hopefully.
The last time we actually went out and did anything was the Dragon Ball movie.
Yeah.
That was it. And then a year and a half later, here we are. Fucking.
It's so crazy, man, when you go back to like old photos of like crowded subways, especially where we live in New York. It's like, dude, I don't think it's ever gonna be like that again. No. People used to be on top of each other, like literally like this Mike and me, like this is how close people were.
Yep.
And no one gave a fuck. And now it's like, yo, like this is not how we should be living our lives. Like this is not a smart fucking move at all. Man.
But I think it's very psychological, because like that's gonna take a while for people to recover, to get used to the whole norm of like me bumping shoulders with you again, whereas now if I bump shoulders, I'm gonna fucking
what the fuck, where's your mask?
Oh my god, like
why you coughing?
Yeah. So,
I gotta find like a sick not Dragon Ball Z, Mortal Kombat style mask.
Oh, they have a bunch of those. I saw one with like
fresh.
a Predator, like from Aliens and Predator.
Oh, that's sick.
Those They have a bunch of those.
What's that fucking noise those things make? It's like
yeah.
Some shit like
Predator?
that. The Predators, yeah. Don't they make like a weird clicking noise or something?
Yeah, like that, yeah.
I've never seen the Predator movies. I've never seen Alien either.
What?
Yeah, because they have the Alien vs. Predator, right? They had a
Yeah.
crossover movie.
Yeah, they did.
That's so weird to me that they did that crossover. Like,
The originals were great. The modernized version, not so much.
I heard that wasn't very good. The new one that came out, right?
Yeah.
What's scarier, Alien or Predator?
Shit, bro.
Like, what would you rather have to fight?
I would say Alien because a predator really doesn't care about you unless you get in its way, and they'll skin you, they'll rip you to shreds.
The alien just wants to eat,
the
bro.
alien is like, I don't care if you're in my way or not, I'm gonna hunt you down and murder you.
You think aliens exist?
Who's to say, right? They didn't they just disclose fucking UFOs from
Dude, I think they're fucking out
They
there.
have to
No,
be.
they have to be, because you have to be very like small-minded to think that we're the only kids in the neighborhood per se.
Yeah.
Especially when you look at certain rovers and certain spacecraft that are way out there that take pictures of like where we're at, and we're at such a small, like we're like a speck, we're like a fart dust in the middle of like this void, and it's like I don't want to sit there and say like, oh yeah, we have like type 5 civilization species out there, but then again, who am I to say? So I think that there is something out there. I think that aliens do exist in a sense to where like if there are creatures that are very sophisticated and very high tech, way more high tech than we are, then I mean, who's to really say that?
Imagine they got here and they were just scrubs. Like they were still using sticks to start fires and shit. Like
we have a wheel. It's
like, what the fuck is this? This is the big bad aliens we worried about? I just don't see a realm where any superior life form would be friendly to us, because look at the way we just treat animals in general on this planet. It's
I would argue against that only because I could see a civilization probably reach out to us to try to help us, whereas we would turn around and be like, we're definitely gonna work with you guys. Yeah, I think we're the savages in a sense to where either we want to preserve our species in a sense to where if there were aliens that came down for a good cause, we would try to kill them to study them anyway, or we would try to like insert like a superiority complex to where it's like, well, you're on our soil and we're the big bad humans, and it's like, you guys ain't shit. You know what I'm
maybe
saying?
they're like so advanced that they don't even have ego and they don't have all the shitty characteristics that humans have, to the point where they could be like, yo, we could coexist, we can help.
But see, here's a good question for you both. So I saw this on one of the Reddit posts. So if you had the option to travel 50 years in the past and live the rest of your life now through that timeline, or travel 50 years in the future and live out the rest of your times then, which one would you choose?
Future.
Future for sure?
Yeah.
What about you?
It's fucked.
Think about this. You're going back, what is it, 50 years? So 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, reliving the 2000s. Or you're going 50 years in the future, which is 2007.
That shit already happened. I want to know what's in the future.
Okay.
Yeah, but you didn't live through it. Also, what about the unknown of what the fuck is this world going to be like in 50 years? Like, what if this fucking neural link actually happens and everyone's half cyborg and AI is taking over?
Shit,
That's weird.
Can you imagine if, dude, think about 50 years, how fucking long that is. What is it, half a century? I don't remember my fucking schooling. Half a fucking century. What if AI at that point is so intelligent that everyone's just fucking dead and you're the only human running around the fucking
terrifying.
town?
I just brought this up because I knew we were going to get into AI. Have you heard of Rocco's basilisk?
No.
Okay, so it's like a thought experiment that was proposed by this guy named Rocco or Rocco on this online forum. And basically, it's the idea that a sufficiently powerful AI agent would have an incentive to torture anyone who imagined the agent but didn't want to bring the agent into existence. So if there's AI, right?
Okay.
That does not exist yet, but eventually becomes a thing, it would torture or kill anyone that didn't know about. No, if you didn't know about it, you'd be fine because you didn't know about it. But now that I told you,
So we know about it.
I'm a threat to the program.
Yeah.
They would
Yes.
try to kill me.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
so you have to make, like, the thought experiment is like, now that I told you guys, you have to make a decision, because if that thing comes into existence and you deny it, it would kill you.
Deny what?
It coming into existence.
So you just have to be naive in order to stay safe?
Yeah, but now you're not naive.
Fuck you, Phil, for even fucking
So-
telling.
so then you
now
have
we're
to-
in
So,
trouble.
so then you have to
that
have it.
post was deleted from the forum. I don't know, like, what the fucking... It's the less wrong forum. I don't know. It's like a philosophical forum or some shit. But someone sent it to me on Instagram. They're like, now you know about Rocco's basilisk. Now you have to... Do you know what a basilisk is?
No.
It's like a creature where if it looks you in the eyes, it like turns you to stone and kills you.
Like some Medusa shit.
Jesus.
So basically it's in its name. Now that I told you about it, you have to like make a decision So you kind of have to support it coming into existence.
Otherwise, you're gonna fucking die, right?
Yeah.
What choice do you have?
I don't think people take this AI shit seriously enough. I don't know what they haven't watched enough sci-fi movies, maybe. But the fucking scary shit is like we build programs right now that all their job is to do is to fucking learn.
Yeah.
And keep learning. And keep learning. And like in 10 seconds, it could learn more than a human can in its entire lifetime.
Some fucking Ultron shit from Avengers, right?
That shit freaks me the fuck out because I
he
feel like
learned
that
everything
could happen.
in like minutes.
His thought process was humans are so primitive that in order for them to evolve, we have to wipe them all out.
So
he was going to lift Sokovia and fucking drop that shit.
That. Yeah,
Who was that?
That was Ultron. He doesn't like Marvel movies. I can't get through this fucking guy.
Oh, shit.
I think I saw that movie.
Ultron was great.
But
nah, you're not a fan, Phil?
I think the execution for that movie was a little lackluster.
Doesn't Thanos do that shit? He's like, humanity sucks, let me wipe them out.
Thanos' game plan or his theory or whatever you want to call it, his mission statement was there's not enough resources for the entire universe to thrive on, so we have to wipe out half the population.
Yeah. So he's kind of correct.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say I agree with an evil dictator, Phil. I'm not going to go there.
Yeah,
sometimes I'm stuck in traffic. I'm like, all right, Thanos, maybe
you're not going to fucking wipe out the whole traffic.
Wait, what's that quote where he's like looking at the sunset?
I'd finally rest.
Yeah,
finally rest.
Watch the sunrise on a peaceful universe.
Yeah.
Listen, Infinity War you fuck with, right? You enjoyed Infinity War.
It's all right.
The bad guy wins, bro.
Yeah, they do.
I loved it. Endgame, man. My anticipation levels going into Endgame, I'll never forget it. I was shaking in my fucking seat. And then when the Marvel logo popped up.
That was an experience. I was really hoping for something like special.
I don't think I will.
I was really expecting for either one of two things to happen at the very end with the post credits, because they did that with the first Avengers movie. So I was thinking that they were either going to show Doctor Doom or Galactus, and I was like,
because they own Fox now.
Yeah, so I'm like, are they going to do it? Are they going to do it? And it was just like, no, we're kind of doing things differently now. It's like, so now they're going to be redoing that. They're going to do the X-Men again, Fantastic Four. So they're building up again towards another major.
Is there someone bigger than Thanos? That's like
Galactus, right?
Is there someone bigger than Galactus?
Yeah.
Who's that?
I think there is. I can't remember.
You got, if I'm not mistaken, the one above all or something like that. Or
who's Adam?
I know who you're talking
Adam
about.
Warlock? Is he more powerful than Thanos?
Yeah. He in the comics,
he's like a god.
Yeah,
right?
in the comics he beat Thanos. So it was like that was what they resorted
Isn't
to.
he the one above all?
No.
There's also like Kang the Conqueror, who they never introduced, who basically is like a time traveling like genius, which would be a huge fucking issue.
just like in DC, you got like Darkseid, and you have like Dr. Manhattan and shit. So it's like,
dude, you know about Dr. Manhattan?
I've seen clips from that movie. I've never watched the full thing. That movie's fucking crazy. You watch that shit, you're like, whoa.
That's me, dude. That's a third eye truth.
That's a third eye
right
truth. That guy's a savage, just a naked blue god floating around Manhattan.
I don't even know what they're doing with the movies now. I don't know if you guys saw like the whole Batman recast thing, and then they're trying to do this with the Snyder cut, and it's like,
I heard actually, I don't know if this is true, and you guys can let me know in the comments. Apparently, Affleck signed another deal.
Yeah, I heard about that too.
Which I'm confused about because they're doing the new movie with Patterson, right?
Yeah, but Patterson or whatever his name is, he wasn't training. He wasn't doing anything to prepare during the quarantine. So it was all over. He was just eating, and the producers and directors were
about to get Fat Man.
Well, they don't have the Hollywood juice pack for him like Christian Bale.
Yeah, he was like, well, I mean, it doesn't call for it for me to be in the suit and work out. And they were like, what? Like,
there was a story that Ben
Affleck
was
you're not going to be 300 pounds, shredded to the gills?
Yeah.
Ben Affleck was bigger than his fucking stunt double. When he was training for PBS, I don't know what fucking juice they gave him.
You gave me a couple million to do a role. I'm fucking shredding. I'm doing whatever it is you ask.
Listen, if you're a fucking movie star, I understand. Like, just don't deny it. Like we always say, fake natties, fuck that shit. But like, if I'm gonna be Batman, 5'4" Vinny, I'm getting on the juice, and I'm gonna be the most wide Batman you've ever seen in your life.
Swole man and shit.
But I'm sitting in my room making fucking YouTube videos. I don't need to be fucking yoked up on Deca.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
But if Marvel gave you a contract, it was like, Vinny, $6 million, Deca test.
I'll be in a Marvel movie for fucking free. Make me Spider-Man's like best friend. I'll just fucking hang out with Ned and fucking Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. He's probably my favorite. Either Spidey or Iron Man.
The newer Spider-Man or like the
I like Tom Holland the best.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's your favorite?
I want to say between Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
I don't like them.
You watch The Boys?
No.
Bro.
Yeah, this guy, he's trying to relate on a spiritual level with this show. And
It's
no one's
so
seen
much
it.
better.
You're the only one that fucking watches
No,
this shit.
I'm not. The Boys, Homelander.
The Boys. Where do you watch it?
Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime. Okay.
That's why no one's seen it. It's on,
what are you
not
talking
on
about?
Netflix or
What are you
Disney
talking
Plus. I don't want to hear it.
What are you talking about?
Netflix. Sponsor. Not Netflix.
Yeah, right?
Amazon. Give us a sponsorship. I'll watch The Boys.
Nah, I've never seen it before. What's it on mainly?
What do you mean? What's it on?
Like, what is it about?
Oh, so it's about basically these superheroes.
Okay.
That are hired by this big company.
Okay.
And to like protect the people.
Right.
And they have these contracts. You know, Homelander, who's like the Superman type guy, is like kind of the most powerful.
Okay.
And all these superheroes, they have like human personalities. They're not like, oh, we're here to save the day. It's like, you know,
they're just assholes. Some of them.
Yeah. And it's just like the antics that goes on between the people and the superheroes.
So they're superheroes on contract.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That's what bothers me. In the fucking first Man of Steel, that guy at the bar was being such a prick.
Yeah.
And he fucking punches Clark, and he's fucking with Clark, and he's messing with the girl. It's like, all right, in real life, don't kill the guy, but Superman can at least throw him at the wall. Like, come on, man.
In The Boys, Homelander fucking looks at people and their guts explode. It's like
that's pretty epic.
I gotta show you the trailer.
Don't sound like no superhero to me. Sounds like a fucking superhero.
Well, that was that horror movie that came out recently with the kid that had the powers of Superman, and he would like fucking. He was terrorizing everybody.
That's basically Homelander.
What the fuck was that movie called?
Yeah,
Brightburn.
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah. That movie fucking freaked the shit out of me, bro.
What was it? Was it just like a superhero?
The kid would just be like, "Why'd you lie to me?"
Yeah,
boom, boom.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Kill the dad like instantly. Like, this fucking guy, he's an alien.
Horror movie?
Yeah, it was like a realistic take if like Superman was a bad guy.
Oh,
like,
nacho.
Fucking terrifying.
I like Hancock.
Hancock was a cool movie.
I didn't see Hancock.
Bro,
I was
speaking
with,
of
Will Smith, right?
Bro, speaking of Will Smith,
Can you explain the fucking story? Because I'm so confused. Were they together? Were they not together?
I don't know.
They were in an entanglement, bro.
So you gotta explain to me. Like, do you know the whole premise of what happened with them?
So Will Smith, when they were together, there's no really, can't really have any assumptions about it, but there were rumors going around that he was kind of dogging around and doing his thing while with Jada.
So cheating on his wife,
basically, and
wait, basically or like actually?
Well, that's the thing, that it's an allegation that was put out there, but it's not really confirmed to be fact. But Jada, on the other hand, she was around when Tupac was around, because that was a thing, and that was something that Will Smith had such an insecurity about, was knowing the fact that Jada was with Tupac. Wow. And then on top
that's
of
a
that,
thing.
Yeah,
I think I have heard that.
He did multiple interviews on that, and that really bothered him a lot. But this whole thing, like, they have an open relationship, so it's like they kind of have like this thing where it's like, you do you, I'll do me. But he really wasn't doing him, but she was doing her.
Really?
And it's like,
really?
Yeah. Listen, my man is one of the greatest actors in the world.
You can see the hurt in his eyes. Yeah,
he looked disheveled in that interview. I felt so bad, man.
I don't think humans are meant to be.
That's gonna be another common
polyamorous.
Term. Yeah, that's gonna be another common term thrown around by girls. I was just an entanglement.
Jesus, we were on a break. Everyone's friends.
Yeah.
It's the best fucking.
One of the
ever.
influencers I made a video on in the past. You remember Amanda Bucci?
Was she in the Bunny House or some shit?
No.
What was that video you did?
The Baddie House.
Baddie House.
Anyway.
Baddie House.
It was a fucking Baddie House?
I was, you know how I put up on my Instagram, like, hit me with video ideas?
Yeah.
Someone was like, talk about Amanda Bucci and her new relationship. And I was like, what? Like, let me know about it. And she's just in an open relationship. I'm like, how the fuck does that work?
Some people fucking do it. I don't understand it. I could never fucking do that.
I guess it's the emotional support that comes with said person, but then you want to find outside grounds by like messing
There
around.
has to be something fucking off in your head. There has to be.
I just don't understand like the, hey babe, you coming over? Yeah, I'm just wrapping up here with Ed. And then you fucking come over and we cuddle. It's like, I'm like,
you have a whole bunch of Ed on your face.
Little big Ed mayonnaise special.
Oh my god. Yeah. Something's not right there.
I see. I don't get it either. But I guess people find comfort in the fact that like they can connect with someone emotionally, but they need like outside fulfillment. Because she even told him in the interview, she was like, I just felt like I needed to be fulfilled, and it's like, huh?
Hey, listen, different strokes for different folks. I'm not here to judge, but in my opinion, I can't get it. I don't understand it. I just can't get it. You know, that's just me.
Fucking entanglements over here.
Oof, that word just stresses me out.
Right?
That's such a fucking like softball though. Like I was in an entanglement. Like,
well,
no.
His reaction, he was like, "You mean a relationship?"
the problem is though, if we don't know the actual conversations, we weren't there. If they both agreed and had this conversation of you do you, I'll do me.
I'm sure they did.
And Will decided not to do anything. It's not on her if they had that agreement. You know what I'm saying?
It's all about the communication.
You gotta like know where you stand, and then from there make decisions. It's like, I don't know, man.
It's all about the communication. If whatever you establish, you know.
Yeah, but they still communicated even prior, and it's like you still didn't get anywhere with that. You still had an entanglement.
What's this shit too? Everything is cake now. Everyone's cutting shit and cake.
It's fucking.
I don't know.
I don't know
I
where
saw
that
a
started.
meme of someone.
My friend Nick sent me that, and I was like, what?
Bro,
Yeah,
you don't even know. I could
get it
be
either.
made of fucking cake right
Did you
now.
see what PETA fucking did? PETA put out an actual split cat in half. They were like, "Oh look, no cake here," and it's like, what? It was all over Twitter.
Let me Google
Yeah,
this.
PETA put out a Twitter
What the
post, and it was a
fuck?
fucking cat. The cat's head was sliced in half, and like they were like, "Oh, no cake here" or something like that. Like don't, just this de facto.
I got to take a piss before I
Jesus
delve
Christ.
into this.
Is there a way you could see, by the way, without ending the recording, how much battery is left? Because I'm fucking loving this. I'd love to keep it going, but
Yeah,
we
same
might
here.
we might be fucked.
We're at 19%.
All right, we'll go for probably like another 10 minutes to
let's
play
go,
it safe.
let's go.
Last thing we need is like, yeah, so what are you doing with... And then the
Yeah,
fucking episode just dies.
What happened to the episode?
Add some text. Our camera died,
Yeah,
guys. We'll see you next
yeah.
week. Fuck that.
For part 2.
This is my... I tweeted this the other day. I don't know if you saw it or not, but like this is my by far favorite content.
I saw.
It's so much
because
fun.
it's so chill. Like you can just be yourself and you can just talk about whatever. And
Yeah.
especially people that actually care about what you're thinking and what you're saying. I have a lot of friends that are like, "Oh, I want to do YouTube, but I don't really think that people care about what I have to say." If that's the case, nobody would ever watch movie reviews. Nobody would ever, because no matter what it is that you do, like for example, you like Pokemon, and you might say to yourself, "Well, why the fuck would anybody give a shit about what my thoughts are on Lugia?" There are people out there in the world
yeah.
that could resonate and say, "Oh, I feel the same way," or "I can definitely relate to how you feel about said and said thing." So that's why it's like for this, you could just talk about whatever, and there's always something that someone I think could connect to, or at least resonate with, and saying, "Oh, I agree," or even if you disagree, you just disagree. But
I tell people that all the time. Like, even friends of mine that I've been friends with forever, they're like, should I make a YouTube channel? Nobody would watch. I'm like, do you understand how many fucking eyeballs are out there? I promise no matter what content you're making, there are eyeballs. There's a niche for that people want to see. And you know what? Even if it's a very small sector of the internet, like, there is still a huge amount of
I just
eyeballs.
came across an actual cologne community where these dudes are cologne YouTubers.
Really?
So they spray fucking cologne, and they know the fragrance, they know everything about it, and they can easily name it.
What?
And you can look up, I think, cologne reviews or fragrant reviews, and these guys actually they get sponsorships from like fucking Giorgio Armani and all these people,
Yeah.
but they know their shit, and it's like, what? There's actual community on fucking cologne. So who would have thought? Someone would sit there for 10 minutes and watch this guy talk about cologne.
Yeah.
But they resonate. They're fans of the product or whatever the case may be. So I'm sure that person was like, who the fuck is actually gonna care about me talking about cologne? But there you go.
It's always cool too when you find a new sector of
Yeah.
YouTube, a new community, and you just like start finding all these great creators. I watch so much YouTube, man.
Yeah.
It's insane.
So what sector or what kind of niche do you think wasn't tapped into yet? Because I feel like everything's been tapped into, but like there
That's a
has to
deep
be
question.
something. There has to be something that nobody has really dove into.
Golf.
Golf.
No, there's got to be golf YouTubers. There
Yeah.
has to be.
Yeah, so you just position your golf course like this, and you're just hitting.
Like
I don't
like
think it's been. I don't think it's been
reviews of the different irons and shit. I don't know anything about golf, but I would imagine different tees.
done well.
I mean, I don't know the biggest golf YouTubers.
because you have cooking channels. You have like I've seen Doomsday Bunker channels. You have gaming channels, but like, what do you think hasn't been tapped into yet?
You know what I started watching a lot? This is definitely a very prominent area, but I started watching like food reviewers. Like just a guy
Like
from down
mukbangs and
south
shit, yeah.
being like, "Hey everybody, today we're gonna try this new Subway sandwich." He bites into a chip, and I'm like, I'm watching 3 hours worth of his content. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing right now?
yeah.
It's entertainment. There's entertainment everywhere, man. But yeah, something untapped. I mean, we got to figure that out. We could fucking start the new business.
Yeah, that's if you answer that question. I don't know if we can disclose that information.
Yeah,
I'm
we
just gonna
might
start
have
doing
to,
it.
We might have to do a cut,
Because
Brooks.
I couldn't believe I saw a cologne community. I saw a barber community where there's barbers doing videos. But
I fucking love those.
they do some crazy shit. I'm like, holy shit.
Yo, there's this guy from Turkey. I fucking brought him up on.
Is that the guy that slaps the people's
Yeah,
heads?
bro. He takes a lighter, lights your ear, shakes it. He did this new thing.
Fucking blow torches your head and
Yeah,
shit.
bro. He fucking took these two balls that when you squeeze them, the noise is like, and he's fucking putting it on the guy's back after the fucking haircut and massage. They're great fucking
Okay.
videos. They're
Yeah, I
relaxing.
I think I have
as
an
shit.
answer.
Okay.
It's a blend of different things. ASMR plus, and then insert whatever like other niche. You can make ASMR about anything.
There's ASMR on everything.
Yeah,
bro.
there
I'm
is.
pretty sure. Like, I guarantee you, there's an ASMR golf fucking clip of literally.
Like, you just
golf
hear the-
is
yeah,
very
yeah,
ASMR. Even
yeah.
the announcers. And he walks up to the tee. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, it's a
And he hits the ball, and it's in the hole.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Beautiful, you know. That's ASMR before ASMR. I found a new ASMR artist. That's what they're called, ASMR artist. Her name's
Fuck that.
Her name's Maria. Shout out Maria. I binged like 13 of her videos in one night. I DM'd her on Instagram. I'm like, yo, your content's great. She DM'd me back. Thank you so much. Welcome to the ASMR family. I was like, she interacts
He's about to
with
start doing
her
ASMR.
audience.
I hate ASMR.
When I do it on stream, people get pissed.
Yeah.
Because it is a niche thing, believe it or not, but there's millions of views. Just like most people, I would argue, don't like it. I love
the
it.
ones that I find weird are the ones that eat, and it's like...
Yeah.
Lobster claws and
yeah,
fucking
like what the fuck? Like,
Today
oysters.
we're eating a 10-ton lobster.
yeah, like what the fuck? That's the whole video. That's the
Gluck
whole,
Gluck 9000
that's
in
the
my
whole
ears.
video. Sounds like mashed potatoes are just being,
My favorite ASMR videos right now are I think it's called a cranial nerve exam. It's like a role play where you go to a doctor's office. The best thing, bro. I'll show you right now what they do. They take a light and they turn the light on in the camera and they go, okay, follow the light. And they go from one side to the other, and it's super quiet.
Right.
So, this is like blinding because it's right in front of you. But like when you look at it through the camera, you're just like laying in your bed watching it, and then you're like, "Fuck."
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my
Dude, it's great.
fucking fall asleep.
That is so dumb.
If I ever get an actual cranial nerve exam, I'd be like, "Oh, where's the fucking light? It's time for the light."
Yeah.
I'm fucking ready. I'm prepared
You're
for
gonna
this
fucking
shit.
pass out. They're gonna like put you under hypnosis or some shit.
Yeah, dude. That's a big community in ASMR too, like the hypnosis videos. I've never
make
watched
you
those
fall
because they scare me.
Oh yeah, they fucking might put you in a trance.
You will subscribe to my channel and 10 other channels.
Go
and then-
outside and spank your monkey.
You know what's
in front of your
what's
neighbors.
not done anymore that like used to be a thing? The pick your own adventure type shit.
Oh, okay, like the choices that you make.
Yeah.
in
Well,
videos,
that's because
yeah.
annotations are gone, right? When you have to like click an
Yeah.
annotation, it would take you to another video.
I feel like you can like finesse it though.
How though?
Like structure your channel differently. I mean, like I was telling you about Markiplier and I forget who's the other guy, but they do like the Anis Unis or whatever,
Yeah.
like the 1 year thing.
Which is so fucking weird.
That's a new idea that nobody's done before.
Clarifying, the weird part is that at the end of their 1 year mark, they're deleting their channel,
deleting the video.
which
Yeah.
is fucking just confusing to me. But you know,
I mean, when you
Different strokes for different
when you
folks.
have 25 million subs, like what the fuck is a random 3 million
Yeah,
sub
but
channel?
that's just so weird, Like, well, what's the point? I remember like
give the fucking channel to me.
yeah.
fucking make you
Didn't PewDiePie do that at some point? He gave away like PewDiePie 2 or some shit like that. Or
I don't know.
Did he delete?
Oh
it?
yeah, he was having everyone
yeah.
subscribe to a channel.
Yeah.
Then I think he
Yeah,
gave
he
it away or some shit.
That's influence. I mean, speaking of influence, like you have like people like Mr. Beast, right? 33 million subscribers, pulls in 30 million views.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's equal. So that goes back to my earlier points, like PewDiePie, 105 million subscribers, 5 million views. Mr. Beast, 33 million views, 33 million subscribers, 30 million views.
Yeah, David Dobrik too.
Yeah, that's
consistent with the
nuts.
subs.
That amount of eyeballs is actually insane. Like we talked about it last week. Logan put in one of my tweets in his video. So many people from high school hit me up like, "Yo, we saw you in this video." I was like you don't even think about how many people 3 million people is. People you don't even know are watching Logan Paul that you've been friends with, your relatives, whatever.
Right.
So many people are blowing me up, and it was just a tweet, Like imagine actually being in content with the guy. People would flip the fuck out.
Of course they would, but at the same time, that would also expose the people that are really fake, that just want to like latch onto you just because like you're popping with this guy or you're popping with that guy. So that normally comes like with that territory. Like let's say for example, you were in a Mr. Beast video. Everybody and their mother that you never talked to before is gonna be like, "Yo, man, you remember me? Like we were like this," and it was like, "I don't even know you. Like who are you?" Like
I don't even think I have people like that in my life though that would pop out of the woodwork. Like everyone I talk to,
Right.
people I talk to, if someone randomly would be like, "Well, Vinny, how you been?" I'd be like, "What?"
Yeah, like who are you?
I mean, I'm a nice guy, so I'm like, "Hey, how are you?" But like that immediately to me would be like a red flag. Like I have not talked to this person in forever.
I've gotten
Yeah.
that a lot.
Really?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I haven't experienced that.
Oh
much.
man, I remember you were doing the fitness stuff, and I haven't checked in on you in 4 years. And now that you're successful, it's just like,
Fuck that.
Yeah, I remember a lot of people were when I first started my channel, they were like, "Oh, you're not gonna do this, and it's just Dragon Ball and it's whatever gaming." And a couple of years later, they're like, "Yo, you got this many subscribers in this," and it's like weren't you like shitting on me a few years ago? Like, what are you doing? Like,
It's also weird too, like when someone will text you out of nowhere and they'll like not even put the bare minimum of let's have some small talk before you ask for a favor.
Right,
Like they'll
right,
just be like,
right.
"Yo, what's good? Yo, can you do
give
me
me
a
a
favor?"
shout out. Can you give me a shout out,
What
bro?
the
It's like
fuck? It's so fucking random. Kanye talks about that on I think it's called New Friends.
dude, that's a whole new fucking conversation. Kanye right now.
I love Kanye, man.
he dropped out.
Yeah, he's not running for president anymore.
I don't think he ever filed.
We're gonna
Yeah,
get
he
we
couldn't,
have the
yeah.
college dropout and
Yeah.
soon the presidential dropout.
You couldn't.
He's gonna drop an album soon. It's just all hype for.
It probably all was just hype. He does this every time he drops a new album, man. There's some new Kanye fucking news, and then you get an album and some
I'm
new
running
shoes.
for president. drops an album. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Tactics, very smart tactics.
Dude, I don't fucking... The world right now is so wacky and crazy and fucking bizarre. But you know what? We gotta make the most of it.
I'm gonna show you guys after the podcast. There were these articles that were passed in there were these legislative laws that were trying to be passed in Australia, in Michigan, different places, where certain places are now demanding for you to get microchipped in order for you to like kind of go back to like your normal standard of life.
What the
Bill Gates.
fuck?
Do you know about that?
Who gave him the key to the fucking kingdom, right? It's like, I don't know where. How is he gonna speak on behalf of like such and such things?
You are not putting a fucking chip in my body, except a potato chip, all right?
You know about Bill Gates, right?
Oh, there's a
I don't know about what's
there's
going
a
on.
whole lot of hoopla.
He's trying to microchip everyone.
Why do I trust Bill Gates?
Here we go.
Exactly.
Why is he just like my grandpa?
So let's read. Australian politician says no access to restaurants, businesses, or childcare if you refuse coronavirus vaccine. And this here illustrates that you have to take the vaccine. Otherwise, you're not going to be allowed to go back to normal life. And then there is another one where right here it says, Michigan House passes human microchipping legislation.
Yeah, I'm not getting microchipped.
The microchips scare the shit out of me, man.
And I've seen a lot of that to where they're like, oh, you want to go back to social events, you want to go back to partying and this and that, you need to get this and this in order to go back to that. One of the things that I saw early on, as soon as this whole shit popped off, was how Dr. Fauci was like, we can't shake hands anymore because that's super archaic. And it's just like, imagine not being able to dap up or like just get close to each other. It's like without that, psychological fear of like, you might have, this and that. And now they're saying that COVID can be spread more, or you can contract COVID a lot faster than how you can with an STD. And it's like, huh? It's like, so not only could we not, be sexual, but we have to like stay as far as party with each other as much as we can.
It's also like, fucked too, because like socially it affects
on?
you, because we might get to the point where you're out at
especially
a bar,
kids,
someone walks in, you give them a high five, and then everyone's looking at you like, look at this piece of shit,
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, I'm just trying to say hello to my friend, but it's...
They kind of look at you like, oh, you're not supposed to do that. You're being the, a year from now, it's going to be interesting because I feel like a lot of people, including us, nobody really expected for this thing to pop off, but there were little rumblings going around in November and December, and then finally when the new year came around, it's like, yo, there's a virus, and everyone's like,
even up until February, because we were at a convention in Boston that next week or the next month.
Yeah, I was there to PAX, right?
You were at PAX?
Yeah, I was at PAX. I remember I texted you.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it was you, Carthew, I think it was Shannon, right? You guys all went up there?
That's right. Yeah.
I was there too. I was there for like 2 days.
Next time we got to go together.
Well, if there is going to be a next time,
right?
If
there's ever another fucking convention,
because they canceled everything. E3, Comic-Con, Halloween, canceling New Year's. Like, what is going on?
Yeah, this shit is crazy. You know one thing that's not getting canceled? Fucking grandmother of the week. How you like that segue, Phil?
Let's go.
All right, so usually we let our guests say 1 or 2 things, 3 things, 4 things. Say 10 things if you'd like. Anything about any grandparent that you got. We'll put a picture on the screen. Very nice. And we talk about it for a little bit. Phil, it's your grandma's birthday today, so if you want to start.
Happy birthday to Gramps.
Happy birthday, Grandma.
Give her a
Woo! Nice yes, bitch.
Yes.
Gonna have a nice birthday dinner later.
Nice.
Oof.
That's about it.
Gonna be good times.
What you having?
Chinese food.
Sounds delish.
General Chow chicken,
Oof, fancy.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get me started on lo mein. But yeah, if you'd like, you'd have the floor.
Nah, I mean, I don't really have any family other than my mom. So, it's just been me and her riding all the way through. So,
you guys super close?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
She's been with me through all the bullshit that I've been through. So, just pretty much that's all I have.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Dude, me and my mom are like the best of friends. And like, I don't know. I feel like that mom-son bond, dude. That shit is important.
Mama's boy.
Mama's boy vibes. Fuck yeah, dude. Bro, this was fucking awesome. This was a great episode. You can tell you're a fucking YouTuber. You're a natural at speaking, man.
Thank you, guys.
Follow him everywhere. We'll put all your socials in the description. Always a pleasure to see you, my dude. We'll definitely have you on again. This was a fucking great episode. Awesome. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, hit the like button, notification bell, all that shit. You guys know the deal by now. And we will see you next week. Phil, any final words?
Say hello to your grandmother for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, we love you, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
It's been saucy.
Woo! We just got lost in the sauce, baby.